Well, it wasn't a few days after Christmas that we moved on up to Mindoro Island in the Philippines. On Mortai, we had one dandy mission. Old Pittman and I, they sent us out at just before daylight. They sent us out to bomb the strip over by that volcano that was there. And old Pittman, he went down first, and then he turned off to the right to get out of my way behind, and I was going to come right pretty close behind, not real close, but close enough to see, well, not have to bomb stuff up in my face. But anyhow, we went down there, and that bomb hung up, and then he shook it loose out there in the palm trees and hit the Japs' storage and ammunition dump, because that thing was burning up there all morning. We flew cover on the air base there after we did that, because we was only about 15 minutes away from it. And they had been coming in every morning about daylight and tearing up our airplanes and so forth. So, but anyhow, we got through that one. Then up at Mindoro, well, we went out on reconnaissance missions, and from the island of Mindoro. I think that was about a week or two before we went on up to. It was about a week, because we went up there, and this is where we run across. We was just doing a reconnaissance. Saw these two Jap freighters. It's 8,000 ton, estimated 8,000 ton freighters, and so we went after them, and that's where on my bomb run, my bombs went right down by the side of that thing. They turned just enough to miss, but I have an idea it did some damage on the concussion of it. Mine hit right by the side of it. And then we started strafing it. And on my second pass, that's when I got hit. I think I got a little too close behind the next and probably got his shell. Anyhow, that's where I got hit and climbed up, had to bail out. Rescued me the next morning. This was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon when I went down. So I spent the night right close to the Japs. They had Filipinos. Saw some of them, and I quizzed them, and they told me where the Japs were, and which was about 3,000 Japs right over a ridge that's extended out into the ocean there about half a mile. And anyway, we got shot up after they picked me up. These Filipinos told me where they were, and told me where about 6,000 was on up there. On Lingayen Gulf, Luzon, Philippines. But anyway, from there, well, I was in the hospital 3 days after I got back, but then they sent me and old Pappy Burrard to Australia on leave. And every day after 10 days. And I was about ready to get back up there. I wanted to get it over with. But anyway, we did. We finally got back. Had some good missions there afterwards. And had some long ones. Had some up there that went all the way up to Formosa from Lingayen Gulf. We moved up to Lingayen after we left Mindoro. And those missions were around 6 to 6.5 hours round trip there, and that gets a little tiresome toward the end there because you sitting there squeezed up pretty close. The gear you have on, but anyhow, that was the main thing. So I did a lot of reconnaissance with just me, and they gave me a wingman, and I did reconnaissance all over the Philippines there, and on up to got my orders to go home. Well, I had in about 106 missions. I believe it was 106, and over 300 combat hours, and I got a chance to go stay another month or two and make captain and a flight leader. I led most of my flights after that reconnaissance deal. Most of it was just two-man fight until we find a good target, and then we'd load up and be 4 or 6 or 8, whatever thought they require, to knock them out. So we did quite a bit of that, different places. It was pretty interesting. A little scary at times, all right, but you knew what you had to do, and you also knew that you was either going to make it or you wasn't, so no use worrying about it. So that's where we stood right then.